right, Kyle. This is where it's all began.
All began. All of your karate training.
Most of it, yes.
We're in Okinawa, Japan right now.
No, dude. We're in Southern Illinois. But let's go inside, all right?
All right, let's look at it.
Let's go. So basically, this is where I first started Okinawan karate, or Shorin-ryu.
How old were you?
I was 11 years old. And I started then. I've been doing it off and on since now 34. So it's been pretty much my integral beginning to martial arts and been love of swords and everything else.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Did your brother ever do it with you?
Sadly, no, he didn't. But that's okay, because we all do different things, and now he's here helping us right now. So let me show you around real quick.
All right. So what's this room?
So basically, this is where we'd start. So we'd be right here, Walt would come in, we'd all start class, and there'd be anywhere from, on good days, 16 of us, on bad days, 8 or 4.
Yep.
But the less people were there, it was just a private lesson, so I didn't mind. And we just start off, he'd say, right, and we came to attention. Most of the time, I was in back, because you gotta remember that there was people that have been training since, I don't know, the 1960s, 1970s.
Oh wow, so this building has been here for a long time.
This has been here for quite a while. I don't know exactly when it started here, but these guys that have been training, they were training for most of their lives.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so when I came in when I was 11, did a little bit, came in back when I was around 16, 17, got real serious. And that time I was just a little yellow belt, a little white belt, and there's all this horrible black belts. So I'm in the back, just kind of there, just chilling out. So it was really interesting.
That's cool.
What else can I say? There's just so many memories. And I'll say for Walter Rowden, he died at the age, I believe it was 76. But still at that point, I would be like, I'm sure if he got one punch on me, he would take me out. I'm like, sure, if we got a big fight, yeah, you can wrestle the guy to the ground, but it was just, things could be.
So this room is where you did most of the training, right?
Yeah.
What was the most difficult exercise they had you do?
The most difficult exercise would be actually when I had to memorize what different attacks and then defends. They call them either kimates or just different kind of katas. And once again, I'm a lower rank doing with black belt. Like, you've watched this enough, get in there. And I'd have to remember, so like stand there, we'd be fighting, I'd have to be like, okay, I'm gonna be fighting here. And then after you dispatch me here, I'm like, I gotta go here, and it was just a lot. And then they'd be like, no, over here, oh, over this. But it was just really fun.
That's really cool.
Well, yeah.
So are we gonna learn some katas today?
Most definitely gonna learn some katas today. I got my friend Mark Winkler here, 4th Dan, so he's a 4th degree black belt. He's gonna run us through some basic kata, goes through some just basic martial arts, and give us kind of a crash course in Shorin-ryu.
That's exciting. I've never tried this before, so this will be new for me.
Awesome, it's gonna be cool. All right, let's get to it.
Yep, let's go.
All right, now we have Mark Winkler, he's a 4th Dan. And Mark, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. I started in Matsubayashi-Shorin-ryu as a gift from my wife.
Oh, cool.
She got me a gift certificate, which I was telling them earlier that she probably regrets to this day. that was in 1995.
Wow.
So I took to it pretty well, and that I enjoyed it, and I came to class regularly. So I worked my way through the ranks in that part of it. While tested me for my first black belt, which was very exciting. I tested for my 2nd degree actually in Okinawa. I coupled that with a trip to China. I managed to do a business trip associated with it, and I tested for 2nd degree while I was in Okinawa.
Very cool.
And then my 4th degree, I actually tested in Cincinnati in front of Takoshi Nagamine.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I was able to get a cup. He was master of the style at the time, and I was able to get a test with that. So that was very exciting. So I've done that. So I started in that. Looked at, we did weapons. I learned a few weapons from Mr. Finke.
Yeah.
And while he was still alive.
What weapons did you practice?
Weapons? We started with bow. Because you always have to start with bow for whatever reason. From there, I learned size. Some size from him. After the size, we worked on nunchucks.
That one I remember first picking up. Well, first pair of size and
right.
throw those.
And so those were the 3 that I had focused on. So I've had it since that time. I've managed to run across a couple people and did a little bit of sword training.
Very cool.
Very little. Trust me, I am not a swordsman. We worked on the draw, and I am a little better with that, but I feel good about that part of it. We're gonna do a little bit of warm-ups, just a couple of quick moves like we talked about.
Okay.
All right, roll the knees. In the other direction. Knee. Stomp. Sheep. Yep. Hook. Take. Pat. Q. Chew. This way. Squat. Right. Shoulder feet. Alright, shoulder hard feet. Hip. Knee. Hump. Sheep. Go. Hook. Take. Pat. Q. Chew. This way. Alright. Legs out. Alright, I'm gonna do punches. So. Alright, looks good. Start with the left hand out. Alright. Hip. Knee. Hump. Cheek. Hook. Hook. Hip. Head. Cue. Do. This matter. Alright, looks good.
Can we do one of me counting them out too?
Sure.
Inch, knee, thumb, G, go, rock, sich, hutch, coo, ju, ice.
Very good. Alright, so the whole, as I told you, the whole thing, if you start doing katas, it's all about Zenkutsu Dashi.
So what's this stance called?
It's called Zenkutsu Dashi.
Zenkutsu Dashi.
Right, Dashi is stance, Zenkutsu is a forward bent leg stance.
Okay. And so this is a kind of the forward position.
It is, but not with your heel up.
Yeah.
Heel up. Okay. This is why you're here.
Oh, okay. No, this is nobody learns this in a day. So, all the little details. The knee is, you shouldn't be able to see your toes.
Okay.
The knee should be over the toes. This leg straight, and the foot straight out. This back leg is at 45, and the heel's on the ground, and the knees locked.
Okay.
So, and then officially the down block position is you got one hand back and one over the knee. This is a very opening move.
And both hands are open on that one, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of details in it.
Sure.
Basically, the feet,
Pizza slice, right?
yes, and so they're not.
That's hard to
They're not
resist.
quite 45. But it's some bizarre.
It's a
actually
small
some
pizza
angle in
slice.
between. They're not tight, but they're about 30 degrees
Okay.
each. The hands are here. The left over the right. So the left's over the right because the right is obviously you are a samurai. This is your fighting hand and your sword hand.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're showing that, okay, I'm not going to fight right now. So that's part of it.
Okay.
And it's like, and the knuckles line up, one over the other.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, there's a boatload of details in it.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you.
So opening move is we're going to go to the left.
The restaurant.
You're going to your left. And you're going to drop down into the stance. You're going to be pretty even at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Both your knees are going to be bent. The hips are going to rotate. This arm's going to slide up. The hips are going to rotate. And you're going to get that block. From there, you're not going to let that leg go.
Mm-hmm.
Go the same way. You're not going to let that leg go. You're going to keep it bent. You're going to shoot this foot through.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to punch. All right. Heel goes down. Heel down. Heel down. So you're in a nice natural stance. The front foot basically forward. The back one should be about 45. So this is the way. So we're going to go backwards now. This is in the fun one. So we're going to actually do those same two moves behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And to get from here to behind us, we're going to drop our weight, reach through with the foot, and pull that on. Okay. And we're going to step up without losing that. All right. This way. So I'll give you a quick background.
Sure.
So with Fudokaichi, this is the first kata that we learned, Matsubayashi-ryū. It was invented by Shorin-ryu, so he's the inventor of the style. And in 1940 or 41, it's a little questionable about that, all the Okinawan styles got together and said, you need to invent a kata, and they told all like the 5 styles that were active at the time. So him and then the Gojo-ryu were the only ones that actually did it. And the Gojo-ryu kata is our second kata. Matsubayashi-ryū, the Gojo-ryu is a lot more round and a little different. So that's part of it. But if you look at it, and there's some historical references in there, and it has some application, which I found later on, just kind of looking at it a little more closely. So I will throw this all at you. So Shoshin was a big judo guy. They won judo tournaments and he was a judo leader. And so what you will see, and if you think about it, you put this all in your head, is that this is an excellent judo term. So that if I come up on him and if we get in a judo, and I want to, I get it rolling a little bit, I can use that same stance, and I can throw. So that's been my takeaway on that.
Very cool.
Because because you look at it and it's not practical in a true combative situation because you're very low and you're very tight.
Your face is open and no part you're not.
Well, and I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, I am not in a good spot. I'm not in a good spot. But
the pieces can be used in different ways. That's like a lot of sword forms. Like
Yeah.
so many rolls and drop techniques that you would never do in the real fight, but you use those pieces all the time when we do
yeah,
swords.
that's perfect. That's exactly what it is. And that's what you're learning. So the katas teach you bits and pieces. And if you start to look at them, this is an avenue that I pursued for a few years. And when we were teaching, and we would look at the katas and say, okay, what is take it away, not from what they tell you it is. It's not a middle block. It's not a high block.
Was this a strike?
Yeah.
So you can go a long way with that. So
That makes
Very
sense.
cool. Yeah, no,
I'll
radical.
give you a little background on that.
No, thank you.
That's what I learned in the years that I was kind of on my own and getting some other influences. So, all right.
Thank you.
So you've got the basic moves. The only other move that you need to know how to do is a high block. High blocks are just a matter of, and it's all.
Yeah, not the waist itself.
Oh, something very specific to the style. This high hand is
So like all the way up to like the chest.
It is. It's very high.
Area. It's right there.
It is very high.
Okay.
I can't tell you. I know the 100% of the reason for that one.
That's right, we don't question it because that's what we were taught.
Well, no,
Wait, that's not a bad thing. We should question what we're taught always.
But
Anyway.
I suspect it gets you more away from the traditional hold here, where you were considered to be more of a
Sword
swordsman.
draw. Oh, this is
And it makes it a little more passive.
Now I don't want to pull it up here. Now I want to put it back down.
But right now,
All right.
this is what we're learning.
We're in the zone. Okay.
This is so it's karate do, so it is a way, it is not karate as a combative style. It's a
Understood.
life. So
Excellent. Okay, so we got.
that's why we're that. So let's go opening move.
Okay,
So we're going to go off, as I said, we're going off to the left.
sure.
All right, so Fudokaichi, the old, and then the hands come in. Hip. Good. Knee. Going all the way through. So. Shi. Go. Right. 3 punches now. Hip. Knee. Punch.
Nice.
Shi. Down in the back. Go.
High block.
That's the high block. Good. He's talking some.
A little bit.
We're gonna do a down block to the other corner. Hip. Down way. And then a high block. Knee. Now, this is the part. This is the best move in the whole time. For me. This is the one where it gets key eyes. We're gonna move that foot. You got all this body rotation. You got this hand. And we're gonna key eye and do a reverse punch. Hey! Hey! Knee. Don't. Cheek. And that's those 4. Now we're going to do a down block that way. Hip. All the way to the corner. To the corner. Oh, back. There we go. High punch. So now you're not punching at the chest. You're going to step up and punch about nose high. Nose high. Okay. Hip. You are doing good.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Neat.
Go walk to this
Oh,
corner.
sorry, go back out.
Okay, fine.
And then we're gonna step up and do another high punch to the corner. Nice. All right, foot kind of itchy. Yo. Hey! Knee. Salt. Sheep. Yo. Hup. Hey. Hey. Two. Two. Hey. Knee. Salt. Hey. Hey. Sheep. Yo. Hup. Hey. Hey. Two.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Tell us about your first martial art that you ever learned or studied in the comments below. Make sure to check out part 2 next week. Special thanks to all our patrons. Follow our Patreon link in the description below. Shout out to our top patrons: Ajax Dragonfuhrer, Sito-sama, and Byron Swanson, Pathfinders of the Wandering Sword. Wander on!